Navy Federal relationship hacks. What's going on, my people? In today's video, we're going to be covering a few things about Navy Federal, a few things about repairing your credit, and a few things to getting your road to financial freedom started. So in today's video, we're going to be covering my Navy Federal Credit Union ebook. Okay, so make sure you watch until the end because we're going to be covering everything. I'm going to be going over some tips. I'm going to be busting some myths and helping you guys on your road to financial freedom. We're also going to discuss what it takes to start your own credit repair journey. I know a lot of the gurus on TikTok, YouTube will tell you that you need to hire somebody. Truth of the matter is you don't. You just need to have the proper guidance, right? You need to be educating yourself on credit in the credit repair industry. So if you're trying to get credit card limits like the one you see here or the one you see here, make sure you watch until the end and share with a friend as well. So for those that don't know my story, I was actually homeless. I used to sleep on benches, shelters. I used to eat at soup kitchens. And I would go to work, finally found a job, got around to get into the normal swing of things. And everybody around me was able to elevate, go on vacations, buy cars, get married. And I was the only one left standing, right? And I call it the dark cloud of bad credit. I felt like I couldn't get ahead. And I wouldn't take no for an answer, though. A lot of people will, let life deal them bad cards, but that's not how we play over here at Avenge My Credit. I actually started fixing my credit on the clock of my job. They were paying me $25 an hour to fix my own credit, right? And if that's something you're trying to do, make sure you tap in with me. Make sure you lock in so I can give you the sauce on what you need to do to elevate, okay? Because there's nothing worse than showing up daily and devoting yourself to a job that you can't stand or don't want to be at. So pretty much I started off at a 430 credit score. I had collections, medical collections, late payments, high credit utilization, and I got my credit score up to a 770, and I did that in about 6 months. Now, everybody's credit repair journey is going to be different because everybody's credit report is different, right? It's pretty unique, almost like your fingerprint. You may have the same accounts, you may have the same credit cards, but guess what? Those payments are going to be different. Everything is different when it comes to your credit report, right? It's very, very unique to you. So just keep that in mind as we're moving forward. I had a great mentor tell me, if you want to get from 3 figures to 4 figures, you're going to have to invest 3. If you're trying to get from 4 figures to 5 figures, you're going to have to invest 4, so on and so forth. So investing in yourself is a big part of your credit repair journey. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself, right? Because guess what? Your mom's not going to invest in you. Your father's not going to invest in you. Your boyfriend or girlfriend's not going to invest in you. And your children definitely aren't going to invest in you. You need to be putting towards your education, putting towards your leadership, and trusting somebody to show you, right, what they've learned along the journey so you're not constantly bumping your head. So if you need a coaching call, make sure you click the link in the bio, get that set up. We'll actually include, for anybody on TikTok, we'll include an ebook, maybe 2, maybe 3, depends on how generous we're feeling. But you can always reach out to us via text at 203-601-7778. And if you'd like to sign up for services, just text services. If you'd like to book a coaching call, text coach. Everybody wants a high limit credit card, but guess what? Not everybody's going to be able to get it. But let me tell you this, these banks are like the nightclub. As long as you can put the proper attire on and meet the dress code, guess what? You're going to get in the club and you might get a free drink. Who's better than you, right? All you got to do is wear the proper attire. You don't have to be rich, right? But what you do need is to set up a solid credit profile and a solid relationships with these institutions. That way you can optimize your chances of being funded. So first and foremost, Navy Federal is exclusive to service members, veterans, or family members of service members or veterans. Okay, that's what they do. They service our servicemen. Okay, but there are a few ways that I've heard of people getting in, right? Because a lot of us have family members that were in the service, are in the service, are veterans, but you just don't have contact with them. So Navy Federal on occasion will make accommodations for us, right? So what I hear a lot of people do is if they can't get a hold of their great uncle or their long lost cousin, they call, hey Navy Federal, I love what you guys do. I've heard nothing but great things about you. My uncle is actually in the service or was a retired veteran, what have you, but I don't have access to him. but I love what you guys do, and I really, really, really want to make a relationship and form an alliance with you guys. Is that something that you would be willing to do for me? And somebody on the phone is probably going to say no, but there's always somebody in that call center willing to go above and beyond for you. And those are the ones that you need to be looking for. So if you're calling and trying to make this attempt, you're not getting the response that you like, hang up, call again. Because let's be honest, not everybody at their job is there to do their job. Some people are just there for a paycheck. But there are people who want to help you and do nice things for you. So now that that's out the way, let's get right into it. Repairing and building your credit report so you can obtain high limit credit cards like the one you see here. All right, it's very, very simple, guys. It's no myth. There's no guru talk here. It doesn't cost you $10,000 for this advice. You're going to want to start repairing your credit report by taking care of your personal information. And that starts with your name, your address, place of employment, and birth date. Okay, those are some key data points on your credit report because banks are in the business of risk mitigation. And if you look unstable, you look risky to the banks. Let's just be honest, right? If you had a friend that moved 20 times in a 3-year period and they come asking you for money and it comes time for you to collect that money, where are you going to go to find them, right? You don't even have a specific address on file. And keep in mind, your zip code does impact your fundability. So that's just something that the credit bureaus don't really like to talk about, but we know. Go look up the case law, right, where Equifax and all these people discriminate on people's scoring decisions or lending decisions based on their zip codes, right? So you're going to want to be very particular about how your profile is structured, and that starts with what your stability is looking like at the time. So as you're repairing the personal information, meaning your names, addresses, place of employment, you want one per bureau. One name, one address, one place of employment. Okay, and while you're cleaning that up, you're going to want to start building out your profile, guys. And if you don't have access to Navy Federal, I put some links in my bio so you can go get a Discover Secure card, so you can go get a Capital One Secure card. If you do have Navy Federal, right? Navy Federal is so great. Let's just get this out in the open. Navy Federal is so awesome because they're very flexible. They're very relationship driven. Okay, so if you know how to build that relationship with them, your chances of high limit credit cards goes through the roof. So not only are they good for giving out high limit credit cards, they're good for their flexibility, they're worldwide, and they treat you like gold. So those are some of my favorite key points of being a Navy Federal member. So building your credit, go get a secured card, go get a secured loan through whoever you're banking with. It doesn't have to be Navy Federal. Like I mentioned, you can do Capital One, you can do Discover, Navy Federal, Bank of America. Just call your bank and ask if they have secured products. It's literally that simple. So let's break down what makes your credit score. Everybody knows their credit score, and what I tell my clients, don't even pay any attention to the score, because if we're putting the proper accounts on your credit report, your score is bound to go up. So there's 5 key factors: payment history, credit utilization, age, new credit, and also what type of accounts are on your profile. And this is going to give a bank a good idea of, hey, are they paying their bills on time? How much credit are they using? How long have they had credit for? Are they acquiring a lot of credit in a short period of time? And also, what type of accounts are on their credit report? And that information is what makes the 850 credit score. So if you know exactly what they're looking for, like that dress code that I told you about in the beginning, if you can hit those 5 key factors and optimize it, you're going to have an 800 to an 850 credit score. Your credit score is broken down and created by the FICO algorithm. Okay, so there's 2 scoring algorithms that we see in the industry right now. You have Vantage, which is what Credit Karma, CreditWise, Credit Sesame is using. And then you have the FICO, which stands for Fair Isaac Corporation. And that's what over 90% of lenders are going to be looking at when it comes time to make a lending decision. So the first main factor is going to be your ability and willingness to make on-time payments, aka your payment history. That's 35% of your overall credit score. It's the largest factor when it comes time for a lending decision, and that accounts for 192.5 points. Okay, so that means if you had an 850 credit score, perfect, pristine, you miss 1 late payment, guess how much your score is going to drop? Not if, but guess how many points your score is going to drop. comment below. The next biggest factor is going to be your credit utilization, which accounts for 165 points. So if you have an 850 credit score, again, pristine, perfect, you have a maxed out credit card, your score is going to drop up to 165 points. So the next key factor is going to be your age, which accounts for 15% or 82.5 points, okay? So what I see a lot in the industry, in my line of work, is people will get stuck at a 720 credit score. And they're like, hey, Nico, man, how come I can't get to the 800, right? Because age takes time, right? Age takes time. There are a few tips and tricks that you can use to put synthetic age on your credit report. But the best way is to have some aged primaries on there, some good seasoned accounts. Right, so that's what will take the average person from the 720 into that 800, 820 zone. Next is going to be your inquiries, right? So how much credit are you applying for in a 2-year period? And that's going to account for 10% of your overall credit score, or 55 points. So if you have a lot of credit inquiries on your credit report in a short amount of time, getting those removed could boost your score up to 55 points. And last but not least, but another very important factor that I do see holding a lot of people back, is the types of credit accounts you have on your report. It's called a diversified credit report. Okay, so banks like to see that you can handle an array of products, not just credit cards, not just store cards, not just student loans. They want to see car loans, mortgages, store cards, credit cards. They want to see that you can handle everything, because the more information they have with you on different types of accounts, it looks better. They feel safer. Remember, I told you the credit score and the credit report is for what? Risk mitigation. So if you have all 100% payment history on an array of accounts, they're going to feel more comfortable lending to you down the road. And I put some great credit building tools in there for you guys to diversify your credit reports. So now that we got that out of the way, it's time for you to optimize your credit. It's time for you to leverage your credit. And it's time for me to teach you how to build a relationship with the bank. If you have a Navy Federal Credit Union account, I know this is the moment you've been waiting for. How can I get these high limits? And it's easy. It's by showing Navy Federal that you're credible to get them, okay? You can't just go around asking people for $25,000 and you don't got no history with them. The analogy I love to make is, if you have a son and a daughter, niece or nephew, friend and another friend, and they want to start a company, one has half of what they're asking you for and the other has nothing. Who are you going to lend to, right? Who are you going to loan that money to? In my opinion, I'm going to loan to the person who already has half of it up front, okay? So that's the purpose of these secured cards. That's the whole point of building the relationship, is showing these banks that you are a responsible consumer with positive consumer spending habits. Those are key industry phrases that banks like to use. Consumer spending habits. As long as you can prove to them that you're going to keep your credit cards between 1 to 6%. I know the gurus on YouTube tell you 30%, 20%, but when I was at CreditCon this year, the director of the FICO algorithm, it's the person who oversees the FICO scoring system, I asked the question, and she said it's between 1 to 6%. So if you're trying to get all of that 30% for your credit utilization, you're going to want to keep your credit cards between 1 to 6% overall utilization. Very, very important. Also, they're going to want to see that you trust them with their money. They're a bank, right? That's what they do. They secure people's money. And I would also like to cover the difference between secured and unsecured, because I know when I started this journey out, I didn't really know. So secured is when you give the bank money, right? Because it's safe. They're not at any financial risk. If you defaulted on it, it's your money. They don't take a loss. Unsecured is when the bank pulls money out of their big vault and they give it to you. Now their money is unsecured because they're giving it to a stranger. But the point of building your credit is so that you're not a stranger anymore. Okay, so that's why I say using tools like the Navy Federal Secured Pledge Loan, very important. It's easy to get a credit card, right? It's easy to get a car loan. It's not easy to get a personal loan. So when you loan yourself money in installment loan fashion, they're going to be more lenient to lend to you in loan form down the road. So it's all about data points. The more information that you give them, the more that you show them that you're responsible, the more likely they are to lend loans to you. Next is going to be the secured card, and this could be done with any bank. Most banks have secured cards, and those are geared towards people who aren't in the best credit situation. Even if you have no credit, right, that's a good tool to start your credit history, and build a relationship with the banks. Banks are big on relationships. Okay, you got to put yourself in the bank shoes. I know a lot of people use Self-Lender, Chime, and all those third-party banking applications, but guess what? They're not going to lend money to you down the road. But you want to know who is? These big financial institutions. There's a big difference between a traditional bank and a credit union. A traditional bank is going to treat you as a consumer, right? So usually higher limits, not higher limits, but higher rates, right? APRs will be a little bit higher. But when you work with a credit union, you're a union member at that point. Relationship's going to be a lot better. They're going to be a lot more flexible with you, and they're going to be willing to do things for you that a traditional bank typically isn't. So stop using those third-party banking applications and get in a relationship with a good bank or credit union. It's so very important in your credit journey. And that's what we like to call relationship banking. You don't want to just have one bank account. You want to have multiple bank accounts. I'm big on analogies. So if me and you were on a millionaire's yacht party, are you just going to sit in the corner and talk with me the whole time? Absolutely not. We're going to want to go shake hands with Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, right? We want to shake all of their hands and introduce ourselves. And that's you opening up the bank account with them, that you putting your accounts on auto pay, that you getting a secured card, that you getting a secured loan, and letting that relationship season, guys. Very, very important as you're avenging your credit. So in my next video, we're going to be breaking down a credit report and a few other things to help you get your credit in a good situation. So to summarize this video, we've discussed relationship banking, the importance of secured products, how to start your credit repair journey, and the secret to getting high limits through Navy Federal Credit Union. So, like, share, comment your credit score below. If you need help, you can always sign up for services. You can always book a coaching call, or you can just text me and say what's up. My website is www.avengemycredit.com. You can see all of my rates, everything that we're doing here at Avenge My Credit on my website. Or you could just text Coach, Services, or sign up to 203-601-7778. Thanks, y'all. Abundance is your birthright. Let's get after it.